Are you ready for the up and coming season? Live clearly, ready.
Welcome to the Clearly Ready channel. And I have a question for you. Are you ready? Are you clearly ready? Well, let's jump into the episode. We are live from the Atlantic Ocean, specifically Sullivan's Island, and we are broadcasting on a nice, almost sunset afternoon, and it's a little chilly. But with all that said, we're going to talk about taking leaps into the new year. Taking leaps into the new year. So the first question I have for you is this. What is it that you need to release in 2020 before leaping into 2021? Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is it a location, a physical location? Do you need to move? Whatever it is that you need to release in 2020, you need to do that first before you take your leap. Because if it's a toxic relationship, you can have the perfect leap. And when you get on your landing, when you get where you're going, guess what? That relationship is right there with you. 2020 has really shown all of us that life can throw a humdinger at you. Seriously. But with everything that has happened, not happened, with all the living, with all the dying, with all the joy, with all the pain, we are still here. We're right here. What has 2020 taught you? What has 2020 prioritized for you? What has 2020 opened your vision to clearly see? What are those things? Before we even take a leap into the new year, we have to see what we've learned so that we can take our lessons and learn forward. So we can take our mistakes and learn from them. And so that we can clearly see where we are leaping into for the new year. What are those things that you started? What are those projects? For us, we started a podcast. That was huge because we knew nothing about starting a podcast. We talked ourselves out of it so much that we launched the first episode. We just had to, because we ran out of excuses for why we couldn't do it. So we launched that podcast. That podcast has now been listened to in over 20 countries. We've had over 60 guests from all around the world. So, as we leap into 2021, we want to take the Love Drop podcast globally, literally. So just like we're right here at the Atlantic Ocean doing this broadcast, we want to take the Love Drop podcast all around the world, literally. We want to stand on the soil. We understand that we're in a pandemic. We know that there are certain precautions that'll have to be made. We know that there are things that we'll have to put in place, guidelines we'll have to follow. And we're willing to do that. So as we stand on the landing of 2020, looking forward to 2021, we do so with a broader expectation of what we want to do with our podcast, of what we want to do with the books that we have written, because I've written a book in 2019 and Charles has completed his book in 2020, and we're a team, and we're clearly ready to embark on the world, not just from a virtual standpoint, but from a literal physical standpoint. And who says we can't? Who says you can't do what you want to do in 2021? Who's stopping you? So right now, it's time to prepare. It's time to position yourself. It's time to do the research on how you're going to leap into 2021. By research, I'm not saying looking at the COVID numbers, looking at the deaths, looking at all of the darkness in the world. Because is that what your leap is about? Do you want to leap from darkness into darkness? Or do you want to leap on fire, bringing the light, bringing the light? I tell you what, we're leaping, shining bright like a diamond. We are leaping forward. We are leaping into the world. We are leaping, trusting and believing that as we take these leaps, ways will be open. Closed borders will open up for us. Why do we think that? Because we've seen it in the past, and there's nothing stopping us from seeing it in the future. So I'm going to ask you this question. Are you ready? Are you clearly ready to leap into 2021, free of the baggage that has been weighing you down, free of the toxic relationships, free of a location that maybe you hate living in, and there's no more excuses for why you have to stay there? The world is going virtual. With that said, you can work from anywhere in the world. You can meet people from anywhere in the world. What is it that you want to leap into in 2021? What is that thing? Write that script. Finish your movie. Finish your album, your LP, your EP. Finish your book. Start the business. Leap into the new year with a new mindset that you are unstoppable, and then act accordingly. I will leap you in 2021. One love.
Inspire others with the stories you
Really
express.
ready.
Look
Are
at
you ready?
you're
Take it with you. You'll open it up. There'll be something there for you, I promise. Wonderful people. And I know she's a part-time angel.